Go. Oh, there we go.
Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV with my co-host Jeremy Scippio.
What's going on, people?
Oh man, you out there, man. You out there doing some very Jordan-esque things in this cold world. You know?
You can you can say that. Yeah, I'm out in Chicago right now. Trying to make my way back to sunny LA, maybe. Is it sunny?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's it was raining bad out here. So
Oh man. I gotta say, man, I probably sound like an old man, but I love the breeze in my living room, man. It's just really something I could just look forward to all day. You know, I got a cool breeze in the living room.
yeah, I hope my place ain't hot when I get back. But yeah, I was out here. You remember Ronnie Ray, friend of the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his birthday show, so he had a bunch of people on. You know what I mean? We ripped through that thing. So yeah, he was strong comedy. He had a great lineup too. I was actually really impressed
Oh
because
no,
he curated his stuff.
he's a very funny guy. He's a very funny guy, but the thing is, he's subtle with his comedy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it'll creep up on you. But he's his what I like about him, he's not scared to do reactions to some pretty funny topics. Man. Well, no
Oh,
topic.
you watch his podcast or his reaction videos?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. He says
Yeah,
things that I wouldn't. I would think them, but I
yeah,
wouldn't say them.
yeah. Ronnie, he put his foot down, man. You know how to do that. He'd be like, "Nah, dog, we ain't doing that." I be like, "Dang." Oh man, but I had a
So,
good time.
nah, that's tight. That's tight. You stayed out of them Chicago streets, right?
Yeah, well, technically. So I did go to South Side. I just stayed away from O Block.
Okay.
Yeah, if they rapped about it, I avoided
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You
Yeah,
you wasn't out
that
there
was
smoking
extreme.
no ops.
I ain't got no, I ain't got no ops. Hey, if you my op, call me so we can talk this out. I ain't got no ops.
Man,
Lord is my shepherd. I ain't got no ops.
you know what? I should have hooked you
What?
up with Jay. He's out there right now.
Jehu.
Jay Rockwell.
Uh, have we had him on the show? He sounds
Yeah.
familiar. Oh,
He
okay.
did he did the movie I'm So Blessed.
Hmm, remember that. But yeah, that name sounds familiar. As I said, I felt like we had him
his
on the show.
director his director was at he's an African dude, hella tall. Well, you didn't, but you saw him. He was very
Not that,
religious,
that
dude.
that's not the dude who we
Yeah,
had on. And they did the screening.
yeah,
He said he was gonna go to Ghana.
yeah.
Oh dang. Yeah, next time. Dang. Yeah, yeah. We gotta cash those checks, man. He said he's gonna give us Ghana for free.
Well, I'm not. I don't know about the Ghana cat. I know about Jay Rockwell. So Jay
Oh, that's funny.
Rockwell is yeah. He's in. Matter of fact, I owe him a phone call, man. It was his birthday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's the stand up cat. So nah, man, I'm a hop straight into the double dutch.
Let's
So
go.
uh I really don't get in the mix of so much trivial stuff. But well, you know what? The Kendrick situation wasn't trivial, man. That was like that was history. You know what I'm saying? That was as relevant as well, I'm not gonna say it was as relevant as Martin Luther King and all that kind of stuff.
Ah,
In our day, it was some very relevant breaking of the cycle type of cultural moment.
yeah. Well, look, I think that this was a purposefully conflated situation. What I mean by that is Kendrick purposefully crossed his his ode to the West Coast and bringing back the West. That wasn't the initial mission set out. That's just a byproduct of showing like, the beef obviously was first. And actually, I wish he wasn't like that because I thought, well, this is a fan of me. I thought he was going to be setting everything up for an album, which he still could be. But unifying the West, which was the sidebar, that ended up being bigger, way bigger than that's like because some people get you still got your Drake fans. I ain't gonna say nobody's name on here, but we know who we talking about. But but
So
yeah, I
cat that
mean,
cat.
but they still get mad. But at the end of the day, I'm like that song is bigger. It was bigger than the battle. That one song, and look, in the fact that he was able to take over Juneteenth, which I say give him the holiday. Juneteenth is new anyway. We could still rename it to Kendrick Lamar Day. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Or just LA Pride Day. I don't care. Then then releasing the video on 4th of July. That was crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
so much marketing genius
Yeah.
in this whole situation. Like
Yeah.
so much genius. Like none of it was, I'll say about 15% of it was accident. And I'll say the rest of it was engineered. And it was
What do
just
you
like a chess game with very talented chess players able to see 3 moves ahead, 4 moves ahead in order to just set everything up perfect. Because um, I'd even be willing to say they didn't promote that concert too long.
No, they didn't. It was a pop. That was a pop up. That was the thing. The pop up concert
Dude,
in one of the most historic venues ever. The moments in the video, to echo the sentiments, because they shot the video, at least the outside parts. They shot that like the next day. I think it was like yeah, next day after
like 2 days
the
after.
Juneteenth, 2 days after Juneteenth.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, man, that's crazy. I mean, that's the all white. You heard about the theories. I can't do the deep theories, but they said that he starts off the video in all white with the blue bandana
Mm-hmm.
or the blue towel. So supposedly he wore all white because he knew that Drake would be at the all white party, and he was at the end. He waves, is like mocking him. So he dropped the video when he knew Drake would be around all these Hollywood influential people, and all of them looking at their phone. You know, because supposedly this is the rumor. Supposedly there were people there at the party that didn't talk to Drake at all, and the rumor is it might have been Lil Wayne or it might have been Travis Scott, but there was people there who just didn't talk to him at all. That's crazy.
Hey man, nobody want to get in the mess, man.
Yeah, I normally don't feel bad for millionaires, but man, to have so many people against you, even though it can be temporary. People have jump, back and forth with, your people that you was close to, like LeBron or the Rap Radar dude or D Rosen.
Well, I look at it like this: people not talking to him in public. I think people are talking to him out of the public light, but I think just nobody wants to be part of the news cycle. Because you definitely be part of the news cycle. That is matter of factly, man. You would be sound bit and your photo, and they would just, dude, one song.
One song.
I can honestly say I've never seen a song do this before in my lifetime.
No, yeah. So everybody was hitting me with the whole like the Illmatic. No, I'm sorry, the the Ether comparisons. And they would get mad at me like, "Oh, come on, this is Ether level. This is Ether level." At first, I was like, "Nah, nah, nah." Especially with the other diss tracks. With this one, I I wouldn't say bar for bar or even feeling for feeling, but I would say the ramifications. I would say if Ether was made today, it would probably look similar to this. The only difference is how it unified the West. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know how he did that, but I just don't like the. It's definitely. purposely conflating two different issues that have nothing to do with each other.
You know, so it's been said that black people are some of the most forgiving people in the world. We we'll beat up on each other, but as far as our oppressors are concerned, we give them a pass. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So with that being said, you know, I had this little soft spot in me that felt all the way up to the pop out. I thought Drake was gonna come out. They was gonna, give each other dap. You know what I'm saying?
You can't dap that man. He called him the P word, man. There's nothing that I need at least 10 years on you. 10 years, bro. We
I
can't. It would make Kendrick look fake.
I thought it was just gonna be. I thought it was gonna be some dap. I thought they would come with a song together. Out.
Oh,
J
that
Cole.
that would put all of them in purgatory if they did that. But I gave you props. I said it's not impossible because it's just a weird world we living in. Like Donald Trump will be president again. I'm just saying anything possible at this point. But yeah, man, that would have took all the credibility out of Kendrick Lamar because he's standing on business. He mean what he said. He said, "I can go further. I promise." That's what he said. So, and supposedly Drake got a diss track ready to go. He supposed to drop. So this might go all year.
Nah, it's not gonna go all year, man. I would bet. I would bet a year of house notes and car notes that in a Drake has been advised to just man.
He hasn't though. He just dropped 2 tracks.
You
That's the
said Drake.
problem.
Drake
Drake
dropped
dropped.
2 tracks. What kind of tracks?
He got the one song, Juan Guan Delilah, and then he got the other song with Camila Cabello that just dropped. And that was supposed to be the summer smash. That thing went down like on the charts. It went down like to 130. Like Kendrick Lamar is affecting this man's bottom line. This would be like a pop hit, and Drake on a pop hit that's a no brainer. Even if you don't like the song, that song supposed to go all summer long. And not like us, it is the thorn in not even just Drake's side, his whole team side. Imagine he's raining on his parade. He's crashing his wedding. I mean, you imagine you had all your funds like decided when the year started. He just signed a new deal. Just signed a new deal, $400 million deal. Man, I know he hate Kendrick, bro. They know ain't no dapping up for a long time. You messed up my money, messed up my relationship with my child, and you call me the P word, bro. It's a rap. It's on site.
So um I was I don't know what I did, but I looked at my phone and I get these little alerts and it
Hmm.
said the Just Like Us video had been released on 4th of July. So I looked at it. And when I looked at it, it was very early. And I think it might have like 4 million views.
Hmm.
And at that time, I said, I called up one of my partners and I was like, you know, this is going to be at about 20 million by tomorrow. And he's like, yeah. He said, well, I said, well, what I said was, he's gonna do Shannon Sharp numbers when Shannon felt really good, but this is gonna happen in 24 hours. Like this is gonna be whatever. So when I was talking, so I talked to 2 people. I talked to one, I talked to one rapper, and then I talked to one kind of a cultural icon type of cat. And I just wanted both their opinions on the video. Now, I'd watched the video 2 times, but I've never like I don't get into all that breaking the video down bar for bar and all that kind of stuff. My mind is already, man, my mind capacity need to be used on something else. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I feel you. I feel you.
But I did listen to the two people. So one person, they were like, you know, I think that it's too artsy and that the people wanted something more hood, you know.
Who said that? It's a hood video. They got Tams.
So that was one thing. And then I talked to someone who's closer to urban living, but an icon.
Mhm.
And they were like, they was kind of let down, you know, they was kind of let down. So I shared with them, now hold on, Pete. I
People
shared with
expect them.
them what the person who said it was artsy said. And then they were like, yeah, I guess that's it. You know what I'm saying? It was, because it was, dude, it was hell of a choreography. You know what I'm saying? It was the hell of a choreography all throughout it, all the way down to the last drop with his
But ain't
hand.
that I'm not LA guy. Even though I got claimed recently, you know. At first I was New York and now I'm LA, whatever. I can't never find a home. But ain't that um wasn't that Tommy the Clown's people?
Yeah.
Ain't that hood? That's not Tommy the Clown not hood? Tell me right now. I don't
Oh,
know.
he is. I've
So
seen, I've been to some birthday parties that he danced at.
I mean, am I missing something? How is that more artsy if that was
They wanted more gutter, man. They wanted more gutter. Yeah, they wanted more gutter for
I mean
sure.
we've been there, done that. I mean,
But when I talked to the cultural icon that's closer to the hood, when
mhm.
I said to him what the other person said, like I was like, yo, this other point of view was like, it was a little too art. And then the hood dude was like, oh man, that's it. Like he was like, snap. He was like, okay. He was like, that's what I was trying to say. He's like, that's what he was trying to say. But um the person who said it was artsy, I guess they saw the context of all the metaphors in the video. Like they watched something where they broke the video down, like, you know, bar for
Yeah.
bar, scene for scene, and all that. And then he kind of recanted a little bit and was like, nah, that's just genius. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm glad that he gives eye candy and all that stuff. Even though I watch those videos, yeah, I'm a lyrics person. So lyrics are first. And yes, before you even ask, I know every word to the song. But you know, I mean, to me it was hood enough. I mean, what did they want? What's it? I'm a thug all day, every day. They want that. Like,
no, that
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, me being from LA,
mhm.
I understand what people said by saying it should have been more hood. What they were talking about was the pop out and on that stage.
They wanted that.
Yes, but I give Kendrick props because he let that happen on that stage.
Yeah,
he let
yeah.
he let that happen at the forum. That's where that happened. That's where fools was walking around, no shirts on. They was doing a little dance where they were two grown men,
Mhm.
uh heterosexual, I guess, holding fingers and hands together and skipping and clinking
That's
heels.
your
And
culture, man. Come on, you can't be.
that ain't my culture. That's culture. You know what I'm saying? Two men. Hey, Jeremy.
That's your people, man. Don't
Hey, Jeremy. If you ever see me with a grown man holding him by two fingers
yeah.
and hopping up and clicking heels and all that, I want you to get a bottle of water. And I want you to use that to lubricate your right hand. And I give you a pass I give you a pass to slap some fire out of me, man. I
That's
give you a
wild.
pass.
But wait, look, we already to me, especially in the early 2000s. I'm not even gonna bring the niggas into it. We had every version of that video that they're describing. Every version of Nuck if you buck right and Annie up, and you know what I'm saying. What I mean, how many more? You just, if anything, I give them a little more credit because from the behind the scenes stuff, because some stuff you could keep a secret. They had two scenes that they showed that was all over the internet. I thought that was only going to be the video. So the fact that they added, I guess what would be considered the artsy portions, I appreciate it. On top of, I think they could have did a little more outside scenes though, because I'm thinking about those people was out there probably like 10, 12 hours. You know what I
And
mean?
you
Like,
and you know
I think they
what?
deserve a little more camera action. That's all.
And you know what?
But,
Them people that was out there for all that time,
mhm.
they've stopped, they freeze framed, they've screenshotted, they've blown it up. I'm sure
Yeah.
Kendrick fed them. I'm sure he gave them some non-alcoholic beverages, and I'm sure people got the fellowship,
Hmm.
and some people probably did hold two grown men holding each other by two fingers, hopping up and clicking the heels of their shoes and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, dude, whatever somebody went through to be part of that long panoramic shot that he did, hey man, they were part of history. They was there. The
What
Compton courthouse.
that what it is? What's the building called?
Well, the Compton courthouse was so Tams is the one burger spot, but
Yeah.
where they were out and it was like water and it was like tall structures and all that. That's the
Yeah.
Compton courthouse.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
look, for somebody who don't know that much about like the inner parts of Compton and all that, it looked good to me. Like when him and Mustard was dancing, like he was chilling. That's what I appreciate. I appreciate that at this point, Kendrick, even though he's reserved, he's very animated. If you look at his other videos, they have a lot of animation to him. This one, he was just chilling. I loved it. And also too, when Kendrick and Dave Free, when they started their label, it's actually more of a visionary. And to the credit of people say it's artsy or whatever. That's what they was actually started. They PG Lang was more of a art visionary thing. More than it is a label. Because the only artist they have on their roster so far is Baby King. They don't they so anytime Dave Free is attached to something, there's gonna be a little art to it for sure. But
Mm.
hey man, this is the gift that keep on giving. The song is back number one. It's literally the worst summer for Drake. And I sat through so many songs of the summer. I remember when Bodak Yellow was playing. I wasn't into that. I think last year Gunner he had the song of the summer. I remember when Rich Homie Quan he had the song of the summer. That ooh 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 ooh. I ain't never liked the song of the summer. People force it. Oh, you just getting old. You don't know hip hop. This is the one song of the summer I like, so I wanted to play as much as possible. I ain't over it yet. I don't never be over.
Oh
People are like, aren't you
man.
sick of this song? Nope, not sick of it. I can play it 3 times in a row right now.
So I have a prediction.
Okay.
Remember, I said this
Mhm.
at the moment. And this is a segue. This is a segue into the next thizzle.
Perfectly fine.
The moment. So I got a theory. My theory is by September, the tide is going to change with this whole election situation. And there's going to be a wild card. But the reason why they're not allowing a wild card right now is because people's minds are very fickle. And so their mind can't handle like a long cycle. Like people need short cycles. That's how they digest things. People's minds don't have the patience nor the RAM or capacity to just really hold on to things for a long time. So as far as the stuff that's going on with Trump about the Supreme Court stuff and all that, that's not just gonna slide like that. There's gonna be some context that's gonna no. There's
It
gonna be
already
some,
slid. He shouldn't even
no
be up there.
no
Yeah, they already slid.
no no no
He
no
shouldn't have been up there.
no.
He
Remember I
shouldn't have been up
said
there.
remember
Yeah.
I said this.
You also
It-
said Drake was gonna be on stage.
Matter of factly, I did say that, but I feel a little different about this
Yeah.
one.
So
So
you heard about the poll?
uh-uh.
They had a poll. They've been saying this low key, but they said 'cause whoever, if the Democrats do pick another candidate, a nominee or whatever, they're sure to lose. They're sure. So they're probably gonna stick with Biden because the thing is they have a chance with Biden if they pick anybody. If you need a movement, your movement should have started already. We should already be chanting the person's name. The fact that we not, nah. But they took a poll. They said the only person who has the influence and the power to beat um, Donald Trump right now
Michelle
is Michelle
Obama.
Obama.
Yep.
She's the
Hey
only person
man,
who has influence.
I'll say this. Don't count out Michelle Obama crip walking across the stage to They Not Like Us.
She had a Compton College hoodie on. She
Hey,
spoke at Compton College before
hey,
Kendrick did. Yeah.
hey. I'm just saying the
She,
Democratic
she
the Democratic Party may have a They Not Like Us celebratory crip walk or some type of dance, and it might be two women holding fingers and hopping up in the air and clicking heels. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying to you?
of
So
course.
with that being said, uh Gavin Newsom,
Yeah,
man,
they said he was up for option.
I'm gonna tell you my issue with him. He's been the governor of California, and I feel like what his challenge would be. California's a sanctuary state. We don't just
Hmm.
have homeless people on the street because Ronald Reagan closed down all the mental institutions years ago, and we just have drug addicts on our streets.
Hmm.
We have a large homeless population because California is a sanctuary state. So we're a
Hmm.
state that will accept people from New York, Idaho, Chicago, places that are really cold and uncomfortable. They come to California because they can be homeless with better weather,
Hmm.
and we go hard on them, but we go hard with a lot of leniency. Like, say, for instance, by my house, we have it's this little area that's kind of like a Mad Max area where it's
Hmm.
like a dirt roaded industrial area, and the homeless people pop tents. So what happens is every Wednesday, uh, the city comes through with police, sheriff, fire trucks, the whole little nine,
Hmm.
and they basically make everybody move out of the little Mad Max area. So
Hmm.
what they do is they just move all their stuff out of the Mad Max area onto the sidewalk, and then the next day they move it back to the Mad Max area. So I say all this
Hmm.
to say, um, if Gavin Newsom was to get debated, there's no way that someone wouldn't talk about the way that he's handled, the homeless population in California.
Yeah, I mean he's an easy target. I mean, there's so many things. You know, who is he? I think he is the nephew of what's her name? I'm losing. Um, Gavin Newsom is related to dang, who the white lady that be on Trump's ass? I can think
Nancy
of her name right now.
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. Yes, yeah. So data come out. Um, the way that California was the strictest on COVID stuff, and they had him at a party, like chilling. So that's another hypocritical thing that they'll bring up. I mean, Gavin Newsom got a lot of dirt on him, so but I mean, look, if
Oh,
that's a good person to lose to lose to Trump.
and you know what else? I don't know if it's his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend, but she's with Donald Trump's son.
Who?
I don't know if it is his
That's
ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, but they're with Donald Trump's son, the one that got a divorce.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't gonna be able to. I can't be fast today, see.
yeah. So no, they
If
know
I
the
was home,
secret.
I'd be on.
They know the secrets. But on to your boy Trump in the Supreme Court. Um, I believe that them giving him total immunity in the moment was a ooh ah and a shock and ah moment, but I don't believe that I've already heard some some things that sound like they could be realistic. That is not going to just give him the uh the levity to be a dictator. Like it's not going to happen. Like he cherry picked his Supreme Court, but even with that, I've heard things that as far as when you uh when you appeal, like I heard some very interesting arguments based on appeal that
Mhm.
it's not as slam dunkish as it just sounded as it was given to us.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think they want a circus. They're gonna get a circus. It's gonna be down to the wire. I think they'll keep Biden in. And the economy, the easy comparison of the way the economy was under Trump to the economy now. I think everybody pretty sure the economy is worse off right now. So as long as the people want him there and his people are in place, that's how he's skating past all this stuff. Like his people in place.
Well, I'll say this: with the economy, people are going to look back and they're going to see that Trump gave these little PPP checks or whatever these little. It was like 1,000 one time and maybe 2,000 another time or something like that or whatever.
Yeah, they like that.
But man, he was wrecking the economy. I mean,
That's that's what George Bush did. George, but people love that though. Like I always make this comparison. It's like if your parent was like didn't pay the electric bill, but they was like, "Oh, you want some candy?" Kids love candy. They like, "Hey, I got candy." You're like, yeah. It was like, but the lights are out. It's like you can eat candy in the dark, and they be like, "You right." That's what's happening. So you can't the type of campaign and marketing you would need to get people on board with common sense is outrageous. So yeah, I mean, he's a great businessman. He's proven it. He's skating
who?
to all these people.
Who?
Trump.
He is not a great businessman.
He's doing it. He shouldn't even made it this far.
He's a great grifter. He's a
Hustler, yeah.
great con man.
He's working.
He can spit ism.
He killed Joe Biden so fast in that debate. He killed him.
You for real?
The only problem was well, the only problem. The major problem, which was always be the problem, was just him telling lies. He killed him with charisma.
Man,
He
he
killed him.
says, dude, I know, and you know the sad thing about it? I know people like him. They'll say anything. Like
Yeah,
literally, they'll just say, they'll literally say anything.
I'm gonna tell you where he took the win. And Joe Biden forgot what he was saying. He said, we're gonna beat healthcare, right? He said, yeah, you are, just like you did back. He took his spin on the story, and he said, yeah, you beat healthcare already. You beat it to the ground. I was like, oh, that was funny. Or the one he goes, I don't know what he said now. Frankly, I don't think he does either. Oh man. And if they go heads up, it's just gonna happen again. I mean, but and they're not gonna get nobody else. And if they get Gavin Newsom, he gonna be anybody they get gonna be crushed. Hey
So
man,
what?
just say hello to your new dictator, like you said. Only 4 years.
I don't believe. I don't believe that's gonna happen, man. What I do believe, they haven't let out their best ammunition on the dude. They've just done some little bantering and some little whatever because you can't. Because, dude, a news cycle is just so. The only thing that's going to last in 2024 that we've seen happen is $1 Million Baby, and they not like, and they and they just not like us. That's
Now
the only thing that is going to last that we're going to see. Everything else, nah.
man, this economy changing right in front of our faces, man. We got self-driving cars, we got more self-checkouts, we got like literally just less jobs in general. He started the whole black job fiasco. I'm not gonna dive into that now, just because literally I've done every joke on that 4 years ago. That's another thing that's annoying about having the same candidates. Is I made all these jokes before. I'm over it. I did the whole black job thing. I'm like, why y'all stuck on this now? But segueing a little bit because I didn't say this on air. It's funny how they doing the whole not like us got bots, but ain't nobody questioning $1 Million Baby. That song was in the middle of the beef. You ain't getting through. Taylor Swift couldn't even get through that beef, but $1 Million Baby did. I feel like when I see people like that succeed, I ain't gonna lie. I turn to a hater. I go, "Who is your uncle?" That's some, uncle, cousin work for Universal, work for Spotify or something. There's no way that black ass song made it through.
That's a hit, man.
It ain't bigger than none of the diss tracks. I don't think.
It's a hit
They
though.
they they said it was because of streamers play it. So
No, I would say to me, and a lot of people won't admit this, but dude, it's that Virginia nerd sound. It's we're getting nerd without nerd. We're getting a sound that's very close to Chad and Pharrell being in the studio, but it's not Chad and Pharrell. But
it's it's
it's
the Soldier Boy version of is if Pharrell only had Fruity Loops. Oh
and
man, I'm sorry.
but
I hope
but
they go away up forever.
but you know what too? I did my research on the cat and I listened to some of his older music, and he's evolved, man. He's evolved from what he used to be. Like before $1 Million Baby, he's evolved for real. Because he was just but then I love the story of an underdog, dude. Like, man, he you know,
That song is the Popeye's chicken of songs. I'm like,
just
how is this thing breaking through? I remember seeing the chart. Matter of fact, I saw the chart. I saw the song on the chart before I heard the song. I was looking like because they had Euphoria. This is before Not Like Us dropped. I think they had Euphoria, Meet the Grams, $1 Million Baby. Then they had Family Matters. They had another Kendrick song. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What is that? It was right in the middle. I said, how is this all being? I listened to it. I was like, this ain't music, man. I'm sorry,
I
but
love the song, man. I can honestly say I can honestly say I love it. And you know what my favorite lyrics is to it?
well,
Hell no.
hey, well, look, man. Hey, you know what? You're allowed to. You like Black Adam too, but you're allowed to like. I ain't gonna say that about it no more. Um, it's a hit. It's a smash. I wish these guys. This is the one guy, Tommy Richmond, right? That's his name.
Yep.
Tommy, yeah, man. Let's see if he can do it again. Let's see. If he do it again, I'll give him a chance. I just gave who I give a chance. I gave Lotto a chance. I gave Sexy Red a chance. So I guess I'm
He
giving him
got
a
another
chance.
hit out, and it's not that, but it's not whack. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not that. It's not whack. So, uh, segueing and trying to keep it cool. What's up with this whole Mark Cuban thing?
Well, I kind of mentioned a little earlier, but basically, Mark Cuban, uh, the guy who he's super
Millionaire,
rich. He might be
billionaire.
he a billionaire, but like the thing is, if you ask what he's famous for, what he's rich for, nobody knows the truth. Like he's the definition of entrepreneur, which leads people to believe that he has a business, whatever. But it leads people to believe that his white parties, all white parties, are essentially like modern day Illuminati meetings. Like you have to be the best of the best, killing it in your field to even be invited, and not just hip hop or music. Like Jay Z's Rock Nation parties tend to be more music focused. His is like simply elite focused. Um, there was some interesting things that happened there because there are people who were beefing who were invited to this party. But the thing that went viral was Drake's. This is the first time people have seen Drake like in full effect since everything started. And they said he looked noticeably older. They said he just looked like he's like this battle is wearing him down. His hair looked in disarray. He like he lost weight, bags under his eyes. You know, I don't know, man. You can take a picture from a different angle. Uh, you know, I don't know, but I do aspire to be invited to. They even made it a cultural thing. They was like Kendrick got the hood because he did the pop out, but they said Drake and the people who were there have the elites. So
I like I said, if I was offered $1 million to name three Drake songs,
you say this every time.
I could only name Hotline Bling.
This is not true.
What do you mean?
You could do start it from the bottom. You know the song. Don't act like you don't. You could do
Yeah.
you could do one dance. You could do there's so many Drake
Okay.
songs. If
Started
you
from the
if you a
bottom,
million
yes, but other than that, man, I'd be $1 million less.
you even know push ups and family matters. At least push ups. Maybe not family matters.
Dude, I can
But
honestly say I haven't played one Drake song. I haven't even heard, dude. I haven't heard a Drake song from the beef. Like I literally have been on the sidelines, just kind of looking or whatever. But no, the only
I
songs
just
that I remember from the beef, the only songs are uh the Rodney O and Joe Cooley sample, Future, and Metro Boomin when they came out with that, and then Not Like Us.
look. I'm not a big Drake fan. I'm really not. But I just want to make it clear. Your stance is Tommy Richmond has the hottest sound, and you can't name three Drake songs. I just want you just let's marinate on that for a
That's
second.
just what it is.
That's your stance. That's your stance. You say Tommy
Hey
Richmond's the
man,
future, Drake is the past.
the props, the props that I'll give to Canada is this. Uh Toronto and Vancouver make a decent slice of pizza.
Oh,
I'll give Canada that. I'll give
okay.
Canada Indian food. I'll give Canada uh they were ahead of the curve with cannabis before anybody. I remember walking down the street in Vancouver and the heroin addicts were selling cannabis. Like they like like you could get cannabis in Vancouver very easily before, like years before there was like reform in the United States for cannabis and stuff like that. Um, I'll give Canada French fries with gravy and poutines, which is like some mild cheddar cheese things on whatever. I'll give them that.
Yeah, we had it. We didn't call it no poutine. We got where I'm from. They had gravy cheese fries. Or bomb. That
But do they
poutine.
have the little oh yeah, gravy cheese fries. Okay.
Gravy cheese fries. This is way simpler. It ain't that complicated. It tastes way better. Poutine. They be trying. They had that spot in Hollywood. Man, I went there like twice. And
Oh, I
yeah,
probably didn't last.
yeah, man, that's carnival food.
You gotta be there though. It's one of those things where it makes sense when you're in the environment, but away from the
Yeah.
environment, yeah, it's not. Mm-mm.
With Canada, shoot, I thought you was gonna say you give them props for it's becoming hood. Like Canada, with Toronto becoming a new conference because they
Oh man, let me. You want to hear it, dude? I'll tell you two little short gangster stories about Canada. One, I had a little something on my record,
uh
and it was maybe about like 6 years old. It wasn't even anything major. And I was flying into Canada with a group of people, and the customs agent, I don't, I was before that was before I was into politics or knowing about politics or how they worked in any kind of way. This had to be like 1997, maybe 97. They made me miss my flight, man.
hmm.
Strictly on some because I can type stuff.
You didn't check
So
in.
it was an intercontinental flight. So I had made
You
it to
didn't check in.
Canada, but it was getting from where I was to where I needed to be, and they flexed on me. And dude, let me tell you how cold they were with it.
Hmm.
There was this Middle Eastern cat that was there, and they was giving him the blues too. And the customs agent said something in front of his wife like, did you know that he's had, different marriages or some shit? It was just something that was very disrespectful that didn't need to be said, you
Uh,
know, in the whole.
yeah.
So yeah, so that was just on some weirdo stuff. And then the second one, I had a guitar player, and he had a little bit of a drinking problem, and he had had a DUI 6 years prior,
Hmm.
and the customs agent was kind of like some Canadian customs agents. We were driving into Canada. So it was kind of a different thing and driving in on a tour bus. So it was kind of like they wanted to give us the blues or whatever. So they basically had this little interaction with our guitar player. And long story short, I had to pay $800 to get him in the country.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I remember during my wedding, I had to break off some money just because they messed up the flight. So that's never fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, hey, so yeah, you got hit by the Canadian goons. That's crazy.
Oh man, man, oh man. So speaking about that, your boy Rick Ross getting assaulted in Canada, and I won't even say it was in the name of Drake. I won't
It
even say it.
was. It was. It was, man. That's they guys, man. They they act like Drake don't have no affiliation with the Hells Angels, but then they got pictures of him. He's such a culture vulture. He was over there rocking it with him. He got tats and stuff.
With the Hells Angels.
Yeah, man. No, this is Google. It ain't me. It's Google, man.
I give people too much credit, man.
Yeah,
I give
man.
them too. I give them too much credit. I was like, you know, should Drake be held responsible for this dude with a funny haircut wanting to check Rick Ross and his homeboys or whatever?
Drake. Oh man, I'm about to find it right now. Drake. Yeah, he. Well, I get it because people want to. People want him to be like so black. I'm not saying he not black. Just saying that he got connections. You know what I mean? It's like all gangs are connected in some way, shape, or form. Because truth be told, why they even listening to our music anyway enough to have an opinion on? You know what I mean? Like, come on, what? That's like somebody who listens to Metallica going like, wait, why you playing that not like us and can't? Come on, you listen to Metallica. You ain't even over here with it. Come on, man. You gonna say that ain't Drake? The song's just a Drake diss track, but this fine. He got the Aryan Nation. My thing
And
is this though, is is Canada no fly zone for Kendrick too? Or is that extends to anybody? You can't play the song at all.
no, 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 no. Kendrick is the king of the world right now, man. That fool could go, hey man, he could go wherever. He could go wherever. But segueing over into something else, like I said, I always like to root on the underdog, man. But I saw something that was a little painful. And your boy Joe Rogan had a very interesting episode where he had Terrence Howard on there who has theories of things, but he also has somebody on there that knew what they were talking about. Not saying that Terrence Howard doesn't know what he's not saying that he don't know what he's talking
He
about.
don't know what he's talking about. I have a low tolerance for that type of stuff.
Dude, it was embarrassing to me, dude. I almost felt like I stomached my way through it, but it was similar to the way that I feel when someone tries to make somebody speak in front of an audience and they're reading, but they don't have very good reading skills and
Yeah,
comprehension skills. And also, um, they don't know what they're talking about. And so basically there was this guy and he was talking to Terrence and but it was dope the way he did it because what he said was you're using the wrong terminology for what you're trying to express. And because you're using the wrong terminology, it basically discredits everything that you're trying to say. And Homeboy was kind of like, I can understand your passion and how you feel, but the science that you're attempting to hold in conversation is 100% invalid because you're using the wrong terminology to piece everything together. And I was
yeah.
just kind of like, ah,
Dude went a little too hard on him. He took it personal. I could tell. Uh, but at the end of the day, when somebody starts off with something, because I I took a logic course in sixth grade. At first, I didn't understand it, and then you get older, you go, oh, most people don't have. It's almost like a common sense class. Like you would say, it would have a sentence. It'd be like, Timmy has a ball, so Timmy obtained the ball. Then the next line would be like, Timmy obtained the ball, so Timmy blank the ball, a ball, and the answer would be has. Now, when you sixth grade, 12 years old, you like, this is for kindergarten. Then you become an adult, and you talk to adults who they'd be like, well, I have a ball, but I didn't obtain anything. You go, are you stupid? You need to take the logic course. This brings us to Terrence Howard, who literally starts his argument with one times one equals two. Look, math wasn't even my subject. What he doesn't realize is the second number is a representation of grouping. So one group of one is still only one. I don't know, because they come up with new ways to do math. They'd be like, "Oh, that's the old way. This is the new way." I don't know no way. I just know if you got one item times one, it's one. And this is the reason why I feel comfortable in my marriage because two divided by zero is zero. So, but when I hear Terrence Howard, he'd be like, "Oh no, you got." He'd be like, "What about point five and all that?" I'm like, this dude just, what's his name handled him a little better. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He told him about the Dunning Kruger effect. Have you heard this before?
Mm-mm.
The Dunning Kruger effect is the fact that if you hear enough about something, you feel like you're expert in it without doing actual enough research. But the easiest thing to say is just if somebody says something dumb, you just instead of calling it dumb, you can just say the Dunning Kruger effect. So essentially, Neil deGrasse Tyson called him dumb. I feel bad for Terrence Howard. I don't know what he's going through, but I consider this a meltdown. Me personally, it's a very intelligent meltdown because he's like, but he'll be like, he has a shape. You see the little balloon, the little balloon animal he made.
No, I'm down with his growing the watermelons and eating the watermelons and all that. But I haven't looked at the little balloon.
He got a balloon animal, like how a clown go like, oh, I got something. What you want? And then they
Mm.
pop up with the animal. He got one of those, and he be bringing that to actual scientists and being like, "What's the math equation for this?" He said, "I figured this out." What that sound like? It's time to put him in a nursing home.
Hey man,
if 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 your pops was like, "Hey, I found the code to the matrix," he'd be like, "What's the code?" And he pulled out a balloon animal. He'd be like, "All right, did you take your pills today?" But,
hey
shout out to Terrence Howard and shout out to Joe Rogan for knowing how to milk a moment and get money off of
man,
something that he could have solved that so fast.
hey, and then
But real quick, I just want to show the record show that was Drake wearing Hell's Angels uniform right there. Evidence, man.
man,
He rocked with it. Not just he got more than one too. He got more than one. He got Hell Angels fit. I know it's choppy. But I have a post it.
man.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, when you wanna feel a little sorry for somebody, man, but they just not worthy, man. Yeah.
He probably was like, who all over there? What he doing what? Who the closest person by? Because you can't just send people from the sixth part. You gotta be like, oh, send the Hell's Angels over there. They never think it's me.
So moving on to the last one, man. I
Okay.
honestly have to say, and I set myself up for this one because about 2 weeks ago, I watched the first Beverly Hills Cop. I saw it on
Mhm.
Netflix, and so I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? Um, I hadn't seen the movie in over 15 years. I was thinking about Charlie Murphy and the passion that Charlie Murphy, as well as the pride that he had in his brother becoming a movie star with the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Beverly Hills Cop. So I watched it.
Mhm.
It was cool. So this weekend, I don't know when they released it, but I know that on I think I watched it Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna watch Axel F.
Mhm.
I honestly have to say it was as dope as the first. Uh, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Eddie Murphy brought the experience of making all the other movies that he had made into
Mhm.
that. And so with his comedy in the original Beverly Hills Cop, his comedy was just kind of like one directional, and he was kind of like playing off of the co-stars and whatnot. But
Yeah.
with this, he was able to bring his own. Like I saw some of the clumps in there. Like I saw some of the comedy that he displayed in the clumps. I saw some of the comedy that he displayed in uh, the movie where he was Dr. Doolittle. Like I saw all these different pieces of the artist get displayed in this. And I was just kind of like, man, it's dope that he pulled it off. And um, it wasn't boring, played out, or dated at all.
Mhm. Yeah, I think one thing I think they're finally learning is they've been pushing for like newer age technology and these cameras are getting so much better and all that stuff, but it ruins tone. You know, movies used to look like movies. You know, now it looks like the camera looks better than real life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the lens. So what I liked about this movie is immediately the camera was like gritty again. You know, and it felt like it was in the tone of the old movie. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciated that immediately. You know, I mean, I don't know if this is like a permanent change or it's just, I'm talking about overall for
Uh-huh.
reboots. But I just say if you creating a universe and you want me to believe the universe, it's cool to keep the same, because I wasn't, I hated coming to America too. But this, it was great. Now,
Yeah.
I would say, I think I like Bad Boys better, Bad Boys 4 better. But with this, I really like the energy. I like the fact that he was. Now this is the part I had a problem with, but not with the tone. Just a little small break. The amount of damage he was causing, totally ridiculous. Like it almost felt like a TV show, like a Beverly Hills Cop TV show, because it was like a cycle. Like he would do some crazy cop stuff, get no blame for it. He stoop around, find some information. I like the angle with his daughter. That was great. Spoiler alert. I'm not gonna tell too much, but I like the angle. I think she was the weakest actress. I think she was pretty weak.
Wow. But you know what made up for it?
Well,
She was a pretty woman.
she's pretty. She's
Yep.
pretty.
She's a pretty brown skinned woman. A
This is
pretty
true.
brown skinned woman. But I'll tell you the other little trick that they slid in on you. They made the other actors look way older than Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I do feel like there might be some, not to hate on Eddie, but I think there was some trickery, some camera trickery. You
And
know.
the makeup. And the
Yeah,
makeup, dude, they made them other dudes look old as dust. And Eddie got the crispy black. He got the crispy black steel hairline, the whole.
yeah. So this is okay. I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, but I am trying to keep my hair on. I'm trying to stay in the game, but I don't understand why men don't want to just show a little gray, like just a little gray on the side. What's wrong with Eddie Murphy? We know how old Eddie is. He's a legend. Is Axel Foley not allowed to have a little gray on the sides? You know what I mean? Just a little gray. I don't get it. That's just me. I don't know. I just look at like you got to use all the hair down. Just the
All of it,
cleanest. But
dude.
I will say it felt like the same character. That's what I was really appreciating. It looked like the same character. Like that felt like Axel Foley. Um, you know, I think his shenanigans are a little unbelievable, but other than that, it was a good movie, good attempt. I would be okay if they made a fifth one too. To be honest with
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised with the movie. And I didn't feel I'll tell you what won my heart with the movie. There was not one moment where I felt like, oh, this is corny, or I need to give him a pass based on he's Eddie. So, like, put it this way, I was a fan of The Last Coming to America, but I feel like I gave Eddie some passes based on his book of work, you know.
Well, Eddie, I think with that he dropped his character though. Like he was being Eddie Murphy to me more than Hakeem. And I'm not gonna go back into it. We discussed it back when it was hot, but the premise of the movie, I thought that was crazy. Like that was insane to base all that off of a sex scene. So that was the one insane. But this one, not so much. Um, like I said, I agreed with those character choices and everything. You know, even her slowly warming up to him as a father. I just there was moments I just thought she would have a little more passion, and she just said the line really flat, and I'm just like, she should get another take on that, right? She should get another take. Like, oh,
But
you're not there for me.
but in an Eddie Murphy fashion, he always got a cute girl in his movies, man. And that could have just been it. You know, that's his thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You know, sometimes they can act, sometimes sometimes they can act, sometimes it's different than that. But I just looked at her as she was the cute girl in the movie. So that's just,
that's a good way to look at it. Like I said, it was the I was just really impressed by the tone though, because a lot of times they could have easily tried to match the Bad Boy 4 tone, because Bad Boys it switched tones through the franchise. The last two had the same tone, but they didn't have the same tone as the second one, and none of the movies had the same tone as the first one. Kind of same with the Friday movies. Like none of the Fridays have the same tone, but the Beverly Hills Cops, at least this last one, had the same tone as the first and the second, and I am extremely grateful for that. Like it immediately, and they had the soundtrack too. Oh, it was killer. They remixed it a little bit, but it was good. Eddie's still Eddie.
I was kind of blown back that, man, not only did they use a Coi Leray remix, but they played it for a very long time at the beginning, man. I mean, they
Yeah,
played that song for a very long time.
yeah, yeah.
So, that on the contemporary. But nah, man, this has been another episode of Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV on you.
Hey,
Uh
real quick, you notice I'm not in the Death Star today. I'm in the X-wing. I got R2D2 with me. You know uh, yeah. No, I appreciate you.
nah, man, I'm glad we made it happen. Any shows you wanna let us know about?
Tomorrow I'll be at man, Citizen. Just follow Jeremy Comedy. I'm gonna post everything. I'll be more
That's
prepared. I'm
That's right,
I'm off
man.
guard right now.
You planes, trains, and automobiles on them, man. I'm glad you was able to tap in, man. We were able to make it happen through the ins and outs and the outs and the ins. With that
Yeah,
being said, this has been
definitely
another
will.
episode of Splendid Radio